MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High-dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
I'm challenging you. You keep calling me here, but you never go straight to the point. My journey in this third division.
No, today was tricky because you're going to have a whole hour to talk about your journey.
My journey.
In the lower division.
Yeah, not Cosmos.
Yeah.
My journey.
Your personal journey in 2 weeks' time.
Hey, Baba. There, the referee tells you straight.
Let's reflect, let's laugh, let's cry together. Bright J is here. As Jomasondo, what do we need to do to try and preserve the legacy? He was not an ordinary person.
Stan was football.
Yeah.
He slept, he dreamt football. His only dream, which he didn't achieve, was to own a soccer club. If you look at the teams he's built at Sundowns, even Pirates, he built at Pirates. I think Dr. Koza is going to miss Stanley big time because he was the brain behind Orlando Pirates.
I pay my tribute to my colleague, Eskrima Sten Shabalala, who passed away after the incident he had on March. Very difficult to say it, too many things, because in this news, you only think it can happen to you, because really this crime in South Africa and criminals is very high. I'm very sorry for him. He lost his son. Now he's no more with us. He left his daughter and his wife. My condolences to them. Bye-bye them. But we share again a lot of football. My greeting to you, Prof. Augusto Palacios.
Maybe a final 30 seconds to the people that have shown you so much love. What do you say to South Africa today?
Well, all what I can say today is that I want to thank them once more. You become a hero, especially when you have passed on. People are saying good things about you when we have passed on. But to hear what people are saying while you're still alive, it really humbles me. And I want to say thank you very much, and I hope it doesn't end with me, but the rest of the legends as well. Amen.
And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Right, we start off by letting you know, though, that the Amazulu president, Sandile Zungu, has given an update on the sponsorship issue. There have been rumors circulating around whether SPAR still sponsors Amazulu, as well as Grindrod. Now, Usutu enjoyed a partnership spanning over 4 decades with SPAR, while Grindrod has been the team's sleeve sponsor since 2021. Now, Zungu confirmed, though, at the end of both of these relationships ahead of the upcoming PSL season.
There's been a rumor about the sponsorship of SPAR. SPAR has been a critical part of Amazulu for how many years? 4 decades. It's possibly the longest running sponsor of the DStv Premier Soccer League team or top flight team in the history of this country. The runway for our relationship with SPAR came to an end at the end of last season, and for that we owe SPAR a great deal of gratitude for having been associated with the team and their contribution towards giving a stature to the team, and in particular their financial contribution went a long way towards helping this brand to grow. But like all great things, they also come to an end. And at Amazulu, we see it as a huge opportunity for us to do something different and something that we consider better. And I want to say that when we next engage at the end of this month, we'll be revealing our sponsorship arrangement, which I'm sure you'll find very exciting. The same goes with Grindrod, who were our sleeve sponsor. There's a view around sleeve sponsorships, but their tenure as well came to an end last season, and we will not be replacing them. We have ideas, also great ideas, that we should be able to reveal at the end of the season.
All right, so that's the story. Grindrod as well as Spar have ended their partnership, relationship, sponsorship with Amazulu. So that's been the big story today. In studio with me in just a few seconds, we'll be chatting to former Kaizer Chiefs coach Cavin Johnson.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Let's reflect, let's laugh, let's cry together. Brian J is here.
Why we wait for people to die and then we start paying tribute to them? Players like Beetle, he's going to be honored with a doctorate in South Africa. They could have done the same thing. He was the first black coach to coach Bafana Bafana. Now he's passed on. All of us are saying all these beautiful things because then he would have loved to hear all this because
Yes.
He's an entertainer like all of us. It's like they buy a chocolate, batati chocolate by the toilet, basalene peo. Chocolate hambi. We as players, we don't have a say. What is painful is that an empty stomach has no loyalty. We have to be united. That's why they take the chocolate and throw it in the bin.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Yeah, we're trying not to throw any chocolates away here tonight. We love the sweet taste of them. And I'm certain that you'll agree with me, though, that this man was probably the most hated man in the country in the last couple of months. Simply because, at Kaizer Chiefs, it's either you swim or you sink. Nothing in between. Hey, and drowning kind of happened. 10th position happened at Kaizer Chiefs. Now, the former Platinum Stars, Amazulu, as well as Black Leopards boss, took over from the sacked Molefi Ntseki. If you remember, back in October last year, with the team struggling, performances were not great, results were not great. He was unable as well to make any significant improvements as Amakosi ended the 2023-24 DStv Premiership season in a lowly 10th position. I guess their worst in Premier Soccer League history. Now, what really went wrong for Coach Cavin Johnson at Amakosi? And he's here, though, to answer any question and many more burning issues, because we all deserve those answers and why the mighty have fallen. Now, this is one conversation that you don't have miss out on. Coach Cavin Johnson, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, Rob. And thank you for having me on the show. And before we go any further, I'd like to give my condolences to Bastan Shabalala's family and everybody else that he played a big role in their football, be it as players, be it as coaches, and be it as one of the things I think he did very well was mentoring everybody else around him. So my condolences to the family, and may his soul rest in peace.
Big loss, Coach, big loss. And I think he spent a lot of time as well at the very same Naturina where you were. Left his footprint, left his mark in many ways than one before, milling across to Orlando Pirates, where again he created his own history after what he did at Mamelodi Sundowns. So I think those condolences will be well received by the family, the friends and colleagues that really hold him still in very high esteem as well. I mean, we talk about Naturina, Coach. We talk about a place that you walk in and there's excitement because you're going to be doing what you've loved to do all of your life, which is to mentor, which is to identify talent, which is to raise brilliant football players. And we see a youngster at Orlando Pirates who's a big sensation. But nobody talks about the fact that he is from the School of Excellence.
Yes.
Little is said about the School of Excellence because that is part and parcel of your journey and where you brought so many great stars out of to world stardom. And I'm sure he, too, is also going to be exposed to world stardom pretty soon if the right deals are made.
For sure, Rob.
I ask of you that, do you live in a sense of regret in terms of all of that happened at Kaizer Chiefs? How you entered, with the academy in mind, and how you exited as a head coach with little to nothing that you could do to change the club's fortunes?
In one moment, yes, I do. I think of how I went in and how I went out. I always say, last in, first out. But yes, I regret some of it, and some of it I will cherish for the rest of my life. But at the same time, I will put it down as one big learning curve, even though I'm much older now. But we learn every day, and we look at certain things, how it happened, why it happened, and how it came to the end. And you never say you never learned anything. I've learned a lot.
When you say you regret some of the things, would you care to share what some of those things are? Because your lessons are our lessons.
The lessons I've learned is that I have to give credit to the chairman for building such an institution, for making what it is, and for having 16 million people follow them. How they follow them, why they follow them, for what they follow them. It's all entwined into this great club called Kaizer Chiefs. And he has to have all the credit because he built it. And what I like was the fact that I was there for a particular job. And I got a call from the chairman himself, went into his office and said, please, I have a team. I need you to coach the team. And in my naivety, I call it naivety now because we can all analyze anything after.
Yeah.
I thought, at Platinum Stars, I did a job in the same situation. I went to Amazulu. They deducted me 6 points after finding out after 7 games where we were, and we were like 5th or 3rd on the log, and they deducted us 6 points, and the chairman came, and I say it now in tears, and I said, don't worry, Mr. Chairman, I will save the club. We saved the club. And for me, this was a scenario like that, and I said, here's the chairman asking me, can I take his team? But it's not just any team, it's Kaizer Chiefs. And I thought, well, with the experience I have, I should be able to do it again. I should definitely be able to do it again. I didn't.
So the area of regret would be the fact that the same chairman that you praise asked you to do that he did not call you to do. You agreed.
Yes.
In a professional manner, that if he had to ask you again now, the answer would be no.
Now, in hindsight, yes, it would be no.
It would be no.
It would be no.
So what is it that you did not know at the time when you said yes? Did you then get to experience and live through that regret? Because that's ultimately what happened and would have been happening every single day when you have a squad of players who know what their duties are. Striker, score, midfielder, create, defender, defend, goalkeeper, block, save, distribute, do all of those things. And it wasn't happening.
Look, Rob, when you look at, and again, hindsight, when I look at the training sessions, and I look at the performance after the season is done, and you look at what went wrong, you find yourself in a position where you tell yourself that there was a time when I had 8 clean sheets, but we didn't win the games.
Because your start wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. But there was a lot of times when we had 8 clean sheets, like I say, and you didn't win the games. And then you look and you analyze it a little bit further and you say, yes, but we had 5 shots on goal. We were leading the game. We gave them the goal. Those are not things that in a normal training session or normal training week, you would be able to identify. Because when you're playing and you have the ball, you expect them to move a certain way and do this certain way, but you don't expect them to not manage the game within themselves. Because on the training field, within themselves, they're able to manage when they are leading a game. So that gives you the sense that come match day, they will be able to lead the game. Because that you as a coach cannot do. At the same time, my one is the bad loss we had in the net bank. I think we had like 20 shots at goal. We couldn't score. We had one-on-ones, we couldn't score. The other one that stands out very well is the derby. We were winning the derby twice. And we couldn't manage the game in live form. You could as a coach, you can only manage the game before and during halftime, and in the end, it's we lose the game in the 86th minute because of not managing the game properly.
But individuals let you down, especially in that derby. They let the team down. But I firmly believe that individuals who should not have been in a situation where they commit such errors, who become lackadaisical on what they do with the ball, decision-making is not as sharp. I think in a lot of ways, if they had to watch that derby game over and over and over again, they would, if they were brave and honest, they would put their hands up and say, guys, I stuffed up here. Individuals.
I sometimes think that is what it is after the game. But as a coach, you got to take them all, and we got to try and solve the problems on its own, holistically on the training pitch. And I do feel that with my technical staff that I had around me, we gave them all the tools or all the information to identify what is right and what is wrong. And for sure, like I said earlier, whatever we did on the training pitch was yes, we're getting it right. Yes, the execution of the exercises and the execution of the mentality, doing what we want to do and putting them under as much stress in relation to the game that will come on Saturday and who they're going to play against on Saturday. You're up against Robert Marawa, who is probably one of the best strikers in the country. What is your role to play today? This is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it.
Coach, before you expose too much of my playing days and how great a striker was, let's head off for a quick break. When we come back from the break, we talk about the issue of respect of coach that we have in 2024. Is it still there? And no better person to be able to answer that than a man with the vast experience as Coach Cavin Johnson.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Lotto Star does scratch card games like no one else. In seconds, you could win payouts of up to 75 million rand. With just a scratch of a card, you could boost your bank balance, win a gold bar, or shine bright on Diamond Rush. Scratch now on lottostar.co.za. Your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Heat up your winter with the Huawei Winter Warmer Sale. Discover incredible savings and an interconnected world with the Huawei Super Device Experience, where your phone, watch, earbuds, PC, and tablets talk to each other in just one tap. Melt the ice on tech expenses this winter with savings of up to 10,000 Rand on selected Huawei products and applicable Huawei deals, subject to T's and C's. Find your perfect match at Vodacom, MTN, Telkom, Cell C, or selected retailers.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Whether you're investing to live off the interest or your audacious goals, open a 60-month fixed deposit account and earn 12.8% interest at expiry. African Bank is more than just a bank, because when you grow, we grow. Join the bank that backs you. Visit an African Bank branch or go online to open your investment account. African Bank, audacity to believe. African Bank Limited is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
The world's best cooking show is coming to SABC3. MasterChef South Africa Season 5. You'll meet 20 talented home cooks from around Mzansi, Noma Upumaphi, and no matter your favorite dish. See if the chefs can handle the heat in the kitchen in a race to be crowned MasterChef South Africa. Starts Saturday 13 July at 7:30 p.m. on SABC3, Channel 193. MasterChef South Africa, proudly sponsored by Pick n Pay.
How hard is hard? In the world of off-road legends, there's hard, and then there's tank hard. Driven by a savage turbo power plant and boasting off-road mastery tech, like crawl control and 7 different terrain modes, there's just no stopping the GWM Tank 300. Drive the indomitable Tank 300 from just 8,799 per month. Visit gwmtank.co.za for T's and C's. The GWM Tank 300. Go with more.
Don't be out here trying to heavy lift appliances to kit out your crib. Take a lot more will do the shifting. Pay attention and get some more. 1, 2.
Couch for the kazi. New TV to watch Rasi. Heavy shipping for free. No extra fee. Give me some more. Snacks for the goat. Give me some more. Batteries for the remote. Give me some more.
Order twice a day. Give me some more on the way.
Give me some more.
Hey. Get unlimited free fast delivery and collect with Take a Lot More. Sign up from only 39 Rand per month at Take a Lot today.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Let's reflect, let's laugh, let's cry together. Bright J is here.
Screamer should have a street name after him. Some of us had to be honored outside the country. He left South Africa with nearly the leg was not healed. He had a broken leg. He went to try. And I said to him, that's how much he loved football.
Lucas Radebe gets recognized in Leeds. Sibusiso Zuma gets recognized in Copenhagen. Kalamazoo Mukonde gets recognized in Holland. These are all stories of individuals who were never given any recognition here.
There should be street under ASIMS, really. Because we are not united, they throw us in the bin. We are the chocolate. Keep the paper.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Good evening, Ms. Marawa. Good evening to the shareholders of this wonderful show. Ms. Marawa, Mr. Johnson, he was given an opportunity. He had more games than the previous coaches, and he couldn't change the fortunes of the club. I really don't understand what happened. I don't know, because I thought he was a good coach before he came to Kaizer Chiefs, but now I'm beginning to doubt whether he's actually a good coach. Because when you look at the statistics, his win rate is the lowest compared to Mangete and also compared to Nzeki. Thank you, Ms. Marawa. Edgar from Polokwane.
Edgar in Polokwane, thank you so much indeed. We are also live on the YouTube channel, so if you want to switch on and switch over to that medium, please feel more than free to do that, so you can actually watch, listen, and make a comment on the YouTube channel. Otherwise, every social media platform right now is live and buzzing. We note it. Send us your WhatsApp voice notes. Otherwise, the number in studio is 011-883-8947. My guest, Coach Cavin Johnson, is here. Edgar was just saying that he is starting to doubt how good a coach you are. And I think it goes back to something I picked up in reading about what you admit, is that having taken this job as the head coach at Kaizer Chiefs also contributed or has contributed towards what you would call a tainted image. Would you agree with that?
Yes. My own image, yes. Tainted, yes. But again, Rob, when you are able to look at the stats after the season and things like that. If you that type of person and not just judging on one game and things like that, we were the third best team as far as possession was concerned within the PSL last year.
Yeah.
We lost games in the 85th minute, the 86th minute.
Critical stage of the game.
Critical stages of the game, we either conceded, either in the first or in the last. And that is where you look at your athlete and you want to find out from them what do they do in those moments, because no matter where we are, no matter what coach is coaching the team, if mistakes are made in the critical stages of the game, whether you concede in the first half, second half, late, you as the person in charge of the team is not able to coach that, because it was a lot of our goals conceded were not, how can I say it, not tactically driven goals whereby the team had the ball for 6 or 7 passes or 3 passes and they made 3-4 good passes and their players moved in the right position. No, it was one-on-one tackles, stay on your feet, those type of areas whereby you expect a professional player to do that at the critical time of the game.
If you were to write a book next week, I don't know if you have any thoughts of writing a book at all. Do you? No?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
Can I suggest a title?
Yes, please.
3 numbers, 251.
Okay.
You understand what that is?
No, you can explain it to me.
251 days spent in Naturina. I don't know if you're aware of the time spent.
It was so quick start, so quick end, that I was not even able to count the days.
I've counted them for you.
Oh, thank you.
That's the headline. 251 days in Naturina is all you need to do and say and write. Because, I mean, you talk about the record where 22 games were played. There were 6 wins in that time. There were 7 draws and 9 losses. And somebody asked on the YouTube channel now, let me get that, Sibusiso Mlindo, he was saying, greetings, Rob, please ask Coach Johnson about his coaching philosophy. How does Coach Johnson prepare a team? What are his beliefs, methodology, and how he wants his team to play? So in a nutshell, how would you summarize a Cavin Johnson approach to football and whether or not that approach and methodology was able to manifest itself at Kaizer Chiefs?
My methodology is always attacking football.
Yeah.
It's never been any other way. In all the teams we've coached, all the team I've coached, involved in. And it's always to try and start and play from the back. Have good midfielders that are able to do a job and have strikers who are able to put the ball in the back of the net. And this was the problem, from what we were doing on the training pitch again, I say, and what was executed in the game and how they were executed. Those were questions that were always asked, and it was always looking at what went wrong the weekend, preparing for the next weekend, mindful of the opponent you're going to play against, and making sure that you cover all the areas where the opponent has strength, and making sure that your weaknesses of the previous game is touched on, and your strengths as far as individual players are concerned is put in the team, if they are training well, in order to stop the opponent.
Where then comes the disconnect, Coach? Because in the analysis, the final analysis of players that play well, show resolve at training, as the head coach, you would expect them to transfer that they do at the training field to a match day situation.
Exactly.
But there was nothing of that. There was a clear disconnect.
For sure. There was a clear disconnect in, like we just said previously, critical moments of the game. You are leading the game or you need to win this game, and in a critical moment in the 95th minute, we have a free kick in the opponent's half. And what do you do as a management of the game then, as a player? You take a quick free kick. And by doing that, your players are all behind you. So you and
you lose possession.
Concede. You lose possession. Yeah. Or you have an out ball against you and you give the opponent the ball. And they have a quick throw in. You are in no man's land, and you can't defend the ball. So those are little things that, as man management from players, I thought we lacked a lot in those areas. I thought we did not have enough of those type of I don't know if I should call them leaders or those type of man management players on the pitch.
Again, that almost agrees with what I said, that individuals let you down in that team. I look at the Kaizer Chiefs historically, and you've been on this earth longer than I have, which means that your knowledge of Kaizer Chiefs would probably be better than mine in many ways. But I've known, and I zoom into one position here, goalkeeping. So maybe the big fault of Itumeleng Khune is that he was so good. He was so good for so long that maybe somewhere, somehow, those that came after him had big shoes to fill. An immediate need for those shoes to be filled. And historically, Kaizer Chiefs have always had great goalkeepers who would last for many seasons. Whether it was Peter Balak, Gary Bailey, William Shongwe, you name it. Those were solid goalkeepers. And then the era, Wade du Plessis comes to mind. Then the era of Brian Baloy, then the era of Itumeleng Khune then pops up. And he holds the fort very well. Would you say now, and obviously what I'm about to say might be proven because our Chiefs have gone for a goalkeeper that they would look at. And I think that's one of the things the new technical team have asked for is a goalkeeper of significant strength and ability. How much without zeroing in on just one area, do you think the goalkeeping department, because it changed so frequently and there was no level of consistency of one person being dominant there, whether that worked for or against the team?
Rob, I think when I came in, I think we gave Bruce his opportunity. And in all respect to Bruce, he done very well. He had 8 clean sheets. Out of the 8 clean sheets, if we won 7 of those games, today we would have been third on the log. But I think that you can only hold the fort for so long. And if you win the game, automatically the goalkeeper says, I need to keep a clean sheet. And it goes on and on and on. And if we score the goals, everything just gets better and better and better. I mean, I always said that when we were at Sundowns and we won the league, Brian Baloy and Kelly Martin were responsible for 15 of those points. When we won the league at Al Ahly, and probably Pizza will tell you this as well, we won the league because Shanawi was so good. So your goalkeeper can only be as good as the players in front of him and whatever he's listening to. And when you look at the 8 clean sheets we had, the team was playing well. We did certain things that we trained with and everything, but we just didn't have in one moment I say maybe luck, in another moment we just didn't have the right technique to score the goals.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Sulfilang here, and good evening to the MSW shoulders, and good evening to Coach Cavin Johnson. I would just want to ask one thing. Does he believe that he was brought into a situation where he couldn't save Kaizer Chiefs? Because, I mean, they had probably a horrendous start to the DStv Premiership season, losing games that they were not supposed to be losing, dropping as many points in the opening half of the season, or maybe in the opening 10 games, they were not as successful. Does he believe when he was, rather, if I can say, promoted as the interim head coach, did he, in his heart of hearts, believe that he was brought into a situation where he could not save the club? Knowledgeable as he is, because I do believe that he is one of those knowledgeable coaches, but did he believe that he was brought into a situation where he could not save the club in that dire situation? Great show as always. Thanks.
Well, Falang, thank you so much indeed. Coach, how do you answer that?
Rob, if I'm honest, I do believe that I was not brought into Kaizer Chiefs to be the head coach. In my heart of hearts, it was a shock. It's probably a shock to you if I tell you I was never brought into Kaizer Chiefs to be the head coach. And I did it purely on the basis that the chairman said, "Can you help me?" And because I said this before, because of my experience at Platinum Stars in Amazulu, I said, I probably can try something, Mr. Chairman, but I'm not guaranteeing you anything. And he said, "Please help me." And for sure, we did okay in the first part of my era being there. And I tried with all my little tools that I have in my head, and credit must go to the technical team as well that was around me. They really, really, really tried. We really tried. But on match day, like we said earlier on, you cannot put the ball in the net. You cannot make management decisions that they should be able to do playing for a big club like Kaizer Chiefs.
I've got to go for a break, but I'm tempted on the back of that answer to ask you then that chairman having asked you to help a situation that moves you into a position that you were not supposed to have been a part of when you walked in at Naturina, then for you to lose 2 jobs, why are those people then not saving you and saying, okay, in your helping it didn't work, but what we brought you here for the academy, can we still proceed? Those are 2 different things, but here you are. While helping, you lose a job and you lose the original job. So 2 jobs lost.
I think it's history. Yeah, the second job lost was purely because the team has come up with a restructuring plan. And I said, if I'm not in the restructuring ways, or if I'm not in the restructuring plan you have, then we part ways.
Sure.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Embrace excitement with Hollywood Bet Spina Zonke prize drops. Stake R2 or more on selected pragmatic play games every Monday, Tuesday and Thursday from 8:30 p.m. for a possible share of 2.5 million rand in cash and prizes. Bet now. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675.
Per kilo. Valid this Wednesday only at all inland Food Lovers Market stores. It's in the experience.
Win big with Celsi and Honor. Sign up or upgrade on the new Honor 200 Lite with free X5 earbuds for only 499 Rand Rand per month on a 24-month Elevate 2 contract and get 30 gigs extra data free. You also stand a chance to win 100,000 Rand towards your wish, lifestyle vouchers, data, or win your Cell C contract on us. Valid until 25 July. Go in store or call 084 145. T's and C's apply. Cell C. Change your world.
And we will buy 500 cars and we will buy 500 more. Just to be the one who buys your car. We'll come to you and offer more. We buy cars, we buy cars. Da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-da-da. We buy cars, we buy cars. Da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-dun-da-da-da-da.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
We all know how dry and itchy your skin can feel in the winter months. Epimax believes that in order to look good, you must first feel good, and has a skincare product for every member of your family, for babies, for you, and even for grandpa's cracked heels. So don't hide your skin this winter. Feel good with Epimax. Get it for you and your family at any shop or pharmacy.
It's our birthday, and you're invited. Mr. D, delivering to you since 92. That's 32 years of date nights, rescue meals, midnight snacks, missing ingredients, and of course, woohoo-worthy deals. This July, 32 days, 32 deals. Join the party on the Mr. D app and order lunch, dinner, snacks, pet food, groceries, plants, and everything in between. Woohoo! There's a woohoo deal waiting for you.
Mr. D.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Jamosono is in studio. Somebody very close. Somebody who's family to you. Coach of the season has been welcomed at Wydad like his royalty.
1 minute you're up there, 1 minute you're down there. Within a minute it's up there. That is life.
Yeah.
That is why there's night and day. He was really, really down. One thing you must teach yourself in life. You fail 7 times, you rise 8 times. Look at your CV every night, because your CV will tell you who you are. My CV keeps me going, Rulani. That is my sleeping tablet. I said, go into that, put all your achievements there, you will sleep.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Coach Cavin Johnson, my guest. Plenty of your WhatsApp voice notes coming through. Also, Sisbonelo and Mhlengi on the line in Durban and Joburg South. Please don't go anywhere.
Hi, Rob. This is Mtusi Mayapa from Pretoria. Hi, Coach Kavin. I just want to ask if you actually think that the players at Chiefs, or do you still think there are players at Chiefs that are surplus to requirements, and who do you think is the best player at Chiefs at the moment? Thank you.
Surplus to requirements and the best player at Kaizer Chiefs, coach, would be who?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah, please help us, coach.
I think there's quite a few good players at Kaizer Chiefs. There's a mentality thing that I hope that the young ones that I've given an opportunity to come out and shine, like your Vilagazi, like your Donny Jansen. They come out and have the opportunity in the next season to really play. But there's always good players at Kaizer Chiefs. It's what time you have to put them together. Because when you think of my time at Kaizer Chiefs, 6 months, it took Alex Ferguson 5 years before he got it right at Manchester. It's taken Steve Barker a good few years to get it right, and he's got it right now. You got to give him credit. He's got it right now. He's got a good team. He's competing with the rest. It's taken Mamelodi Sundowns a good few years to dominate like they have been dominated now. And in all respect, they are playing a good brand of South African football, and they are winning. Pirates in its own mind, in its own space that it is, they play good football. But it's taken Jose a lot of time 2 years at least. So I think it's about the time given to the players and the rollout of who stays and who goes in the next few years that will tell you really what are really good players at Kaizer Chiefs. For me to say the time I spent there, I think that X is probably the best player they've ever had at Kaizer Chiefs. No, because the past of Kaizer Chiefs is so important to carry on. Who has emulated Dr. Kumalo? And Dr. Kumalo has left Kaizer Chiefs 15 years ago. No one. Who has emulated the Ace Kuses of this world? No one. In all respect to Jabu Pule, there's no one that's come near Jabu Pule in many years, not just Cavin Johnson's little 6 months. No, in the last 5-6 years, no one has emulated those type of players.
Well, you'd say 9 years because it's been 9 years of drought for the team.
In my mind is, why has that not been kicked on? Why has people not? Why has Kaizer Chiefs not had those players coming through, or buying those type of players? You know, paying a lot of money for those type of players. I don't know.
Let me go to Sponelo in Durban. Thank you so much for your patience. I'll come to you, Mhlengi, in a second. I'll go through all the voice notes as quickly as we possibly can. Good evening, Sponelo.
Good evening, Tarot.
Yeah, welcome. And coach is here.
Yeah, good evening, Coach Johnson.
Good evening, my friend.
Yeah, I just want to ask 2 questions quickly. I just want to ask where you influenced by management not to play Itumele Nkune, because you'll remember that when he renewed the contract, Kaizer Chiefs made it clear that this was his last playing contract. But Itumele Nkune, every time when he speaks, he always says he's willing to go on and play more seasons. Were you influenced by management not to play him? And the second question is, what was the main challenge for you as a coach not to make Kaizer Chiefs to win from the time you took over in October up until the season finished? What was the main challenge not to be able to put in a team that can challenge for the league and also to win all the games? Thank you very much. It's Bonele in Durban. I'll listen from the radio.
Sponelo, thank you so much indeed. I appreciate it. Let me double up with Mhlengi. Mhlengi, thank you very much for your patience. Good evening.
Good evening, Prorop. I'm going to be very quick.
Sure,
the coach has mentioned that he manages the game before the game, at halftime, as well as post the match. I find that very strange and I'm very not understanding what he's saying by that. Because when he said players should manage the game themselves inside, he's got a view on the touchline to tell the players what to do, because he's entrusted with those powers. What does he mean by that? And for me, it sounds like there was a bit of a disconnect between him and players, and perhaps maybe the incident on what may look like an incident between him and Peterson, was it him losing the dressing rooms?
Okay, valid questions, Mhlengi. Thank you very much indeed. Coach, let's start with the last one. I'll work backwards here. Managing before and post the game, he says you've got the view from the touchline, and was there the loss of the dressing room based on that Brandon Peterson incident?
The Brandon Peterson incident, I think it's just what the eye sees. And when you hear it from the horse's mouth, then you'll understand. No, there was never a loss of the dressing room. I think we all were very, very, very sad that we could not do what our chairman had built, and we could not do what the chairman asked us to do in order to keep the team at the highest possible level within the PSL. So the Brandon incident was, like I say, what the eye sees and what the people write is what we think happens. That was never one of the problems.
Was what the eye saw was a blatant confrontation?
Yes, it looks like it wasn't. It was not.
Yeah.
It looks like we are having an argument and things like that, but that was never the case.
And then just maybe a quick summary of your idea of what the management of a situation is when you've got full view from the touchline in terms of expecting the players then to manage certain situations?
So the one thing about Kaizer Chiefs is that you always play in front of a crowd. You never play in front of 500 people only. So yes, what I talk about is when you manage a game, you manage it post the game, before the game, halftime. But when you have 20,000 people screaming and the free kick is on the far side of the pitch and you are either winning the game or going home with a point, and the free kick is for you, you cannot tell that player what to do.
So you leave it to them.
So that moments are the moments I'm talking about, where the player uses his brains and says, you know what, we have the free kick. We want the point. Because if we go and move the point, we're still okay.
So you entrust them with that responsibility.
You entrust them with that responsibility. Say, well, hold the free kick. Let our players get organized, get well organized defensively or get well organized attackingly. So we show our intent either to defend the ball, so we play the free kick backwards, or to attack the ball, so we play the free kick forward. And that's the moments you talk about. Players should understand where they are. And I'm sure you will notice in the current or the past Euro how players manage the game. Because you are playing in stadiums that have got 60, 70,000 people. And if any coach in the world tells me that he can relay a message to the player on the far side, then he must be a servant of God. And that is what I'm talking about. Those are the game managements that we talk about.
All right, let's step down from the altar, get back on the field, deal with the issue around maybe what could have been managed. Somebody on the YouTube channel I saw early on was asking the question about the Sekhukhune game, for example, where in an event where the corner kick to the opposition happened, and immediately there was a substitution that came through from Kaizer Chiefs' side, and the subsequent free kick or the corner kick that had been halted for the substitution to happen then resulted in the goal. I don't know if that's a game that you do remember. And what would have spurned that substitution to happen where you are defending a corner kick, for example?
I'm trying to figure the game, Rob.
Yeah. Okay, let me give you 40 seconds to think about it quickly. Let me take this WhatsApp voice note.
Evening, Mr. Marawa, and evening to the coach. For starters, I think the coach listening to him talking now, I think he shouldn't blame himself for what happened at Kaizer Chiefs. For example, he took the team late. There was no time for him to instill his playing style. There was no time for him to try and get the players that maybe he feels might have made a change in that team. Because when you look at Chiefs, apart from their number 9, they don't really have an out-and-out striker, a striker that gets goals for them. They didn't have one in the season. So that is also one major problem. And if you look at them, they didn't even score much goals in the season. That shows that it was a team that lacked an out-and-out striker to compare them to their rivals, Orlando Pirates. So I think he must not blame himself. And I think also he feels good the players let him down. It was a plot it was a plot that he should leave. That also shouldn't bother him. He is a well-renowned coach. We know him. We know his pedigree. He must know that Kaizer Chiefs is not the end for him. Maybe a question for him, what happened to the role that he was actually hired for? When he couldn't make it as a head coach, then what happened to the role that he was actually hired for? Great show as always, Mr. Marawa.
But thank you so much indeed. Appreciated that. Say that you must not blame yourself for these situations. Any idea who's now stepped in? I know that there's a whole technical overhaul that's happened at Kaizer Chiefs. Are you aware of what's going to happen at the academy and the position which you were initially entrusted with?
No, Rob.
Not.
No. I just know that the institution is taking a restructuring role, and that's what they're doing.
The influence by management regarding Itumile Nkune, I think I missed that one. Any comment on that?
No. There was never an influence. I have to say that honestly.
Yeah.
We have probably, or we probably had Rene Tinkelar, who was the founder of Itumile Nkune, if I may say that.
No, for sure.
And yes, when we got there, Itu came. I think he was injured when I started, and he came back, and then he had a problem, if you remember.
Yes.
And then he came back, but he was always positive in the team, Itu.
Yeah.
But I'm always guided by those people because they're part of my technical team. And when Itu was available to play, Bruce was doing well.
Yes.
And if you ask you get the goalkeeper coaches and you put them down and say, which one? What do you think? I'm playing like this, I'm playing like that. They'd always come back. And Rene is as honest as all Germans are.
Quick one, Coach. 5-1. You lose to Mamelodi Sundowns. It's a game where they dominate ball possession, 78%. You have 22 goal attempts, 18. You have 4. Shots on goal, 9. You have 2. Game management. Well, what is it that you even say to the players then?
That is one of the games we knew we were going to play against a very good oil team in Sundowns.
Yeah.
I thought the killer blow there was the red card to Given. I thought that threw all tactics out of the window, because then we just had to look, because it was one of my main players, which is my central defender, and he had a specific job to do on Peter Shaulile and how we were going to close the midfield, and how we had a plan for that whole game, and the red card threw it all out the window. And coming back, we had to do a lot of other things, like play a different system, play with less players up front, less play. So we
chased the game.
We chased the game basically. But in saying the red card, I do think that we should have got a free kick before the red card.
Quickly, I'm out of time. What's your next stop?
A little bit of a sabbatical now.
2 weeks?
Yes, sir. Hopefully.
Still in time for you to have a job in the new season?
I don't know. There's a lot of the teams have their coaches, and a lot of the teams have done their probably 3/4 of their pre-season already.
What's your wish?
My wish? I have so many wishes, Rob.
Give me one.
To write the book 251.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.